You ever notice how some companies brag about data? Everything's about data now. Big data, small data. Who's your data? We're data driven. We use cutting edge analytics. We're a society based on data. Yeah, okay. So why do we still make such bad decisions? Take a company that launches a fancy new online schedule. The numbers say it's a success. Customers are using it, everything's running smoothly. Then suddenly, they start losing customers. They're scratching their heads, looking at the numbers thinking, well, this doesn't make sense. Turns out, the new system is a disaster. Customers hate it. It's too complicated, too frustrating, and no one thought to ask them before rolling it out. So, the data says one thing, the people say another. Guess who's right? You ever had a friend who only tells you half the story? They come in and say, "You won't believe what happened. The boss just yelled at me for no reason." And you go, "Really? No reason at all?" Then you find out they showed up late, didn't turn in their report, and accidentally called the boss's wife by his ex-wife's name. Well, that's what happens when you only look at the data. Take, for example, a company's online ad campaign gets millions of clicks. And they think, "Oh wow, this is a huge success." Then they realize, oh, nobody's actually buying anything. Well, it turns out people were just clicking because they thought it was a clever meme. Numbers tell us what? People tell us why. That's where people skills and talking to people comes in handy. And here's the funny thing. Everyone already uses mixed method research, whether they realize it or not. Take, for example, a salesperson. They don't just look at the conversion rates. They also listen to what customers are saying. Or for a software developer, they don't just track error logs. They also talk to users to find out what's annoying them. Or, in the HVAC world, a technician doesn't just check system readings. They also listen to what the homeowner is complaining about. But for some reason, when it comes to business strategy, we throw common sense out the window and act like numbers are all we need. So, how do you actually do this the right way? Well, there are two approaches. First, the step-by-step method. You start with the numbers, see what's going on, then follow up with real people to find out why. Like a software company rolling out a new feature. First, they track user data, then they ask users, "Hey, what do you actually like about this?" Then there's the all-at-once approach, where you collect numbers and customer feedback at the same time. This is good when you need quick insights, like a sales team tracking purchases, while also analyzing live customer support chats. If people are complaining while they're shopping, well, you know you've got problems. Now, even when companies mix research, they can still mess it up. And that's why the smart ones use something called triangulation. And that's just a fancy way of saying check your work. Or your grandmother might have said, look at your sources. So let's go back to our HVAC example. Say a company notices that a certain air conditioning unit keeps breaking down. The data says it's a high failure rate. Customers say the product is defective. But when they talk to their technicians, they find out the problem isn't the unit, it's bad installation. If they had just looked at the numbers, they might have recalled an entire product line when all they really needed to do was train their installers better. Now, I know what you might be thinking. So, okay, but why does this matter to me? Well, if you sell something, build something, or fix something, it really matters. Sales and marketing, they need fast insights. They may mix numbers and customer feedback. Software developers need usability feedback, so they might mix A and B testing with user interviews. HVAC technicians and technician managers need to prevent costly mistakes, so they check the numbers and real-world conditions. Now, I know people throw around terms like mixed method research, like it's some big breakthrough, but newsflash, we've been doing this forever. Your grandmother didn't need a PhD in research to know that checking the oven and tasting the food was the best way to tell if dinner was ready. Look, data is useful. Don't get me wrong, numbers are great, but they are not everything. Numbers tell you what's happening, people will tell you why. And if you don't put them together, you're only seeing half the picture. So the next time someone throws a big, impressive data report at you, ask them one simple question. Yeah, but did you actually talk to anyone? Because if not, you might as well be flipping a coin. The best decisions, they don't just come from the numbers. They come from knowing when to listen.